What's up, everybody? This is Plix, and guys, I know it's been a while since I've posted, but I'm going to try and be more consistent with that posting. I do apologize, and I'm also starting a new series right now. This is what I call State of the Game, and it's inspired back when I used to play StarCraft 2. There was a series called State of the Game, and they would basically talk about StarCraft 2, the meta of StarCraft 2, the different patch notes. They would discuss the different competitive things that were going on. So that's kind of that's going to be what I'm going to be doing with this. And we're going to start out with this State of the Game. This is episode 1, and it's going to be on the building meta. I think it's really important that people understand that the meta is changing for building, and you need to know how you can change with it to best improve your gameplay. I hope this really does help you guys. If it does, be sure to smash that like button and leave a comment down below with just whatever. I appreciate you guys, and let's get into it. Alright, so a while back, there was a patch note that came out, and I don't even remember what patch note it was, but basically it changed the wood starting health to 100, the stone wall to 90, and metal was changed. The metal build time went from 20 seconds to 25, the max health was 400, now it's 500, all of these different changes, right? And wood max health also went to 200, which is a big deal. The reason it was a big deal, basically what it did was it took wood that initially started at 80 hit points, and it made it so that it was no longer 3-shot by an AR, because any AR does 30 plus damage. So if you have anything less than 90 hit points, then it's going to get 3-shot pretty consistently. So that was a really big deal, and so that buff really made wood super valuable. Well, a new patch just came out, and that changed everything. Basically, everything is no longer 3-shots. So before metal, it's starting hit points where you basically could quickly 3-shot a starting metal wall with your AR, no problems. So nobody wanted to use metal in build fights because it's easy to get shot down. Now everything is pretty much going to be 4-shot at the very beginning. With the exception of one of the materials, it's more than likely not going to be 4-shot. But anyway, so these were pretty big changes. They basically changed the starting hit points of wood, stone, and metal. So wood starts at 90 now, stone is 100, and metal is 110, which is a lot. That's a lot. And the max hit points are still the same for most of them except wood. Wood is no longer at 200 max hit points. It's only at 150. It got reverted back from the previous change. And stone wall max hit points are 300, and metal is 500. So let's go into the playground mode and check this out in a little bit more detail to find out which one really is the best thing to use. Alright, so this is just kind of like a little experiment that I was trying to do. I wanted to, as quickly as possible, place all 3 materials and just kind of monitor their current hit points, because if I place them all basically at the same time, then their hit points should be basically pretty even. So I thought it would work, but with wood being only 150 hit points, it finished really quickly, and I couldn't really tell. So I decided to just like do it, wood versus stone, and then see which one is better, and then stone versus metal and see which one is better, and that kind of thing. It turns out wood really isn't that great. You guys can see it here. Like wood and stone basically finish at the same time. Stone starts at a higher hit points. You can already see stone was ahead even after being placed second, so I was like, okay, clearly wood is not something good. Stone, pretty nice. Because it was ahead like 20 hit points when wood finished, which is a big deal. Now we're gonna do stone and metal. And these are pretty much dead even, like dead even. Except the only thing is, metal starts with 10 more hit points, so the fact that stone is keeping up with metal means that it's pretty much gaining the same hit points per second as metal. That's essentially what that means. So which one is better? Which one's better to use? Well, in my opinion, it's going to be metal. Metal's going to be better to use for a couple different reasons. One, if you place stairs down like this, you can see directly through the metal, but you can't really see through the stone, so you can know what your opponent, let's say you place a stair over their head or whatever, you know where they're going, right? You know, and they know kind of what you're doing as well, but it's really valuable for you to be able to see that. And these are a couple different things. I mean, you can edit the stairs and you can see through it and all that different stuff. But in my opinion, just purely based on the fact that both of them get the same amount of hit points at the same time, it just makes metal all around the better material to use. Even when you're, you know, building a floor stair wall, like if you build it in stone, you can't really see through it at all unless you kind of have to edit the stairs and then you can kind of see through it. But if you have metal, you can see through all 3 layers really well. It's just all around a better option, especially since its starting hit points is 110 and its final hit points are 500. That's huge. Like, but the other thing is, like, stone is a little bit easier to farm and find, especially in Paradise Palms, and metal's a little bit harder to come by. So we're gonna kind of show a couple of areas that you can go if you're playing very competitively, if you're going for those wins and you want to have the most amount of metal. I'm going to show you 2 places, in my opinion, that are the best areas to land. One of the places is this little trailer park area. You can get about like close to 700 metal, which is a good amount for the very beginning, especially if you're solo. That's a great amount. If you are a duo partner, then he can help you farm as well, and you can clear out these caravans or whatever these things are, trailers, pretty quickly. And it's not bad to start out having 350 metal each for your duo. I wouldn't recommend this place for squads though, purely because it's just there's not enough starting loot. Like there's I think like 3 or 4 chests around this area, which isn't terrible. You can get a little bit of loot, and then you can go to one of the rifts nearby and go someplace else. And most of the time, from my experience, not a lot of people land here. Most people avoid it. They go to more interesting areas, more, and a lot of people, they don't know, like, wood is not that good anymore. I mean, wood is literally 5-shot at max hit points from any gun, any AR, which is terrible. So, anyway, this is the first place. You can get a good amount of wood, or you can get a good amount of metal, and there's a little bit of wood around. I normally would just use the wood for building up to places and just quickly pushing people, because it is 3-shot. You can push with wood, and then when you get into a more serious fight, or if they're really laying down the heat on you, then start using metal. Metal is very, very precious, so you don't want to use it for things like building up a mountain, or, you know, things that you can use wood for. With this new patch change, it's really important to start using materials for specific occasions or moments in the game. So, you know, using your brick for maybe a beginning 1x1 to base up, but you don't want to use your metal because this circle might move, or using your wood to go up a mountain, or whatever. That's fine. Metal is going to be for that late game, or for those really intense fights where you need to make sure that your builds aren't falling apart on you. That's really important. So we're going to go to the next location, which is the containers. Now, the containers are right next to Tomato Town. They're also another unnamed location. And the reason I think that this is probably, in my opinion, this is more than likely the best location to get metal. I was going to say Junk Junction, but Junk Junction actually is not that good for metal. Like the car heaps and stuff, they don't really give that much. And so, yeah, this is the next closest place. This has a ton of containers, which can give anywhere between 30 to 40 metal, which is basically what the caravans could do. I don't think the caravans ever did. Look at this guy. Okay. The caravans never gave like 40, so the containers are up on that in that respect. But anyway, there's a ton of containers. This is going to be a great place for your squad to land. I would say you guys could probably clear this out pretty quickly. especially with 4 people. I mean, it would go pretty quickly. You just want to make sure that you would start on the top and not the bottom, because if you destroy all of the containers on the bottom, then obviously the other ones on top are just going to fall apart, and you won't get the resources for it. I have not done the actual like math to figure out how much metal you can get from this, but if you clear out from top to bottom all the containers in here, I guarantee you every single one of you guys will be leaving with max metal, because I think I harvested right around 500 metal just doing some of the bottom parts, and I didn't even get close to clearing out half of it. So three layers for, I mean, that's a ton. That's probably close to 3,500, 4,000 metal, which would be insane late game. Just absolutely insane. Now, whether or not you didn't have time before another team comes, I think is another issue. I think people will start to realize like this is going to be a hot spot for getting metal, and they'll start fighting for this location, depending on how the format of Fortnite's competitive turns out to be, which is probably going to be the next episode. I wanna know what you guys think, but I want to start talking about the possible Fortnite formats coming out, how the competitive scene is going to develop. If that's something you guys would be interested in, just let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other thing that you're like, hey, why don't you talk about this? I'd love to hear what you guys are looking for. Thank you guys. If you watched all the way to the end of this, like, you're awesome. Alright, that's it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Stay awesome.